What's up, Doom Nation? Welcome back. We have another Doomed review. We've been on tour with these whiskey reviews. We are at an undisclosed location. The boys are buzzing. The fire is burning. And we got some scotch to try tonight. Scagz, tell them what we're doing today.
One of my favorite pastimes. We are drinking in inclement weather.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Captain and I and Mr. B here, we are veterans of many snow kegs. We don't have a keg tonight, but we got some snow. Instead, we got the Deacon.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about it.
So I found this bottle at a liquor store here in Connecticut. I don't know where you guys are listening from. It's a store called BevMax. It's not the greatest liquor store.
Yeah, it's a very large liquor store, but their selection's always lacking and their prices are horrible for how big it is.
Yes.
So it's frustrating, you know,
So,
but they have what you need. Typically.
So this bottle, it stood out. It's got the cool logo on it, and it's a copper bottle, and it's only $36 here in Connecticut.
Yeah, it has what, like,
check that out.
Kind of like plague influence, right? You got the plague mask. And the bottle reminds me of like an elixir, you know, from the apothecary, if you will. So
we are going to test whether this is good scotch or if it's just a gimmick. Now, there's not a lot of information on this. There's a small excerpt on the website and on the back. You want to read the back or you want to read the website? Go ahead.
I'll read the back just for fun.
I could read, so I'll read it. This elegant Scotch whiskey offers an exquisite balance of aromas, ribbons of peat and wood smoke alongside notes of toffee, charred orange, and delicate spice. The Deacon is a rich, delectable artisan spirit of rare quality. All right, it sounds good.
Yep,
I like it.
Imported by the Deacon Distillers, Highland Park, Illinois. I'm assuming this is going to be one of those like smoky ones that are a little bit peaty.
Hopefully
it sounds that way.
Hopefully it's just not brown rubbing alcohol.
Well,
so on the website, it says the Deacon is the most unconventional scotch you will ever experience, a one-of-a-kind blend that defies traditional scotch conventions, featuring a bold and complex flavor profile of unique designs sure to awaken your senses. So let's see what it wakes up in us, boys.
Yeah, let's do it.
Pour it out. I'll bring it up to the camera so everybody can take a look.
There's a cork. That's a good sign. That's a good sign.
Classy. We putting some snow?
Well, I don't know. Not first. Not for the first sip for me. But the nice thing about the snow is if you need a little ice in your drink, I was just a couple of nights ago, I was just scooping it right off the counter. It was nice.
If anybody watches our liquor reviews, you know that one of my favorite environments to drink in is when it's below freezing outside. Yeah. So it's not exactly there, but this is ideal drinking temperature for whiskey, bourbon, etc.
It's cold enough, boys. So cheers. Doom Nation, cheers. This is
everybody.
The Deacon Scotch.
Let's get into it. Nice color.
Yeah, it has a woody smell a little bit.
It's peaty. They're not lying.
It smells good. There's no real burn to it. That's nice. So it's not a bullshit, like, cheap alcohol, you know?
It's loaded on the peat, though.
Yes.
It's like I'm getting the Lagavulin-ish. You know, that's a scotch many people know, so they could compare it to that. In my humble opinion, it's a Lagavulin-y, but like almost a little watered-down version.
We always talk about crushability. This is not crushable.
You don't think so?
No.
I don't think it's crushable
because of the flavor.
Unless you are that kind of that peaty kind of flavor. It's
this is not our wheelhouse of flavor.
It's not
me personally.
I'd say though, I'm trying to think outside the box here. Not mine either, but in terms of crushability, it doesn't have that burn afterwards. So I see how people could crush it. So it definitely has some crushability. But I agree, it does kind of have that very peaty taste to it with no burn. Yeah.
The aroma is huge. This is a stinky scotch, and it's not a bad thing.
Stinky.
On the front end, it doesn't burn. On the front end, it's very smooth, and on the back end, you get all the different flavors.
It does kind of at one point, I'd say about halfway through, you know, like choking it down. It does have like a little bit of like chocolate toffee. Kind of reminds me for like a split second of a Snickers or something like that.
Okay.
Like a caramel type. Something like that. 1 second, I get it. You know, in the flavor palette profile, whatever you want to call it here.
The only place you could drink this is in front of a fire.
Yeah. A wood fire, you know. For all no one needs to know, but this is probably not wood. This is propane. And it's not bad. It's just for me, it's missing, it's lacking a little, you know. It's an 80 proof. I would expect a little bit more. And honestly, personally, I like the burn a little bit, right? Especially when it's chilly out. So,
Scagz, do you think you need ice in this?
I know you want about to do. That's what we are about to do.
Go ahead. We got plenty of it, bud.
I'm normally an ice whiskey drinker. Let's see.
Oh yeah, that's you don't want to know where that snow came from, but that's okay.
Yeah, it changes the flavor a little bit. As
I think it might dumb it down too much. You know, it's already pretty.
It is now. It's very diluted.
Yeah.
Which I agree. It is kind of diluted to begin with. With an ice cube, it's even more diluted.
Yeah.
It almost has like almost no flavor now, I'd say.
Yeah, there's no taste on the front end.
Yeah.
When it first enters your mouth, as weird as that sounds, there's no taste.
I'm still getting that mid-range flavor of like now just like watered down Snickers bar now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm curious to read in a little. We'll go inside. All right, we'll like to check the age statement. I feel like this hasn't been in a barrel too long.
Right.
And sometimes, right, you know, every whiskey, Scotch is hot right now. Company like this might say, hey, listen, we've got some barrels that are a year old, right? Let's put it in some cool bottle.
Well,
and it's a cool bottle, and maybe guys will buy it.
That's what we had to test if it's a gimmick or not.
It could be gimmicky.
This is definitely Scotch. It's not brown rubbing alcohol.
No.
But I don't think it's aged enough. If it's aged,
that's a good point. It doesn't. I don't think it says on the bottle how old it is.
It doesn't.
Yeah, not a good sign.
Yeah.
Not a good sign.
No.
And it doesn't, you know, that's not the make all break all, but you know, with the age comes that, you know, the maturity, the flavoring, the deeper profiles, which seem to be, in my opinion, missing here. Everything else is cool though. The cap
looks cool.
The plague mask, dude.
A little bit of makeup for the lack of age, perhaps.
Here's a good question: how did this guy drink with that mask on?
I don't know.
We'll think about that later.
Funnel through the eye, perhaps.
Yeah.
Tough times.
All right. Well, let's give it our rating. Let's go down.
I'm gonna give it a 3.4.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Gruesomely low.
Wouldn't drink it again. Probably won't be drinking any more of this tonight.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be drinking it tonight, especially with a basement full of much better options.
Correct.
I'm not going to go as low as a 3. You know, I'm going to just step it up a notch. I'm going to go to 4.5. And I'm going to go to 4.5 because the bottle looks cool. Maybe you give this as a gift to someone who doesn't really know anything, and they're never going to open it, you know, and it looks cool on the shelf.
It,
And so from that standpoint, okay, I like looking at the bottle, but the flavor's not there. I don't really like Lagavulin, the peaty stuff, but I would drink that stuff all day over this. Actually, I might go downstairs and have some just to kind of redeem.
We should compare it. Yeah,
it's gonna blow your nuts clean off.
Yeah. How much did you pay for this again?
$36.
All right. Yeah.
Now, granted, Lagavulin's now like 70, 80, especially for the 16, and it has an age statement, right?
Yeah.
So point I'm getting at, I'm 4.5 for me. Not a huge fan.
I'm right there with you. 4.5. The bottle, the display, killing it, Deacon.
Cool.
This is great. This is an eye catcher. The price range is right. You know, for Scotch, this is cheap.
Relatively cheap.
This is cheap for Scotch.
But you can. There's better bottles at this price point than this.
Correct.
Right. So even if you don't want to spend a lot of money, which you know, some people $40 is a decent amount on liquor. I totally agree. There's better bottles at the price.
But
point.
4.5. There's nothing on the front end. It's all in the middle and the back end. There's no burn. And also our flavor profile that we generally like is not that peaty, burnt Scotch. So I don't know, Deacon, maybe step it up, maybe get an aged one. We would try that for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not saying no to that. But as of right now,
you know.
It's not a gimmick whiskey. It's not brown rubbing alcohol.
Yeah.
So there is some value in that. But there is better stuff out there. We're sorry, Deacon. But Doom Nation, cheers. Anything else, boys?
Thank you, Cap. Picking us up.
Thank you, Cap. Thank you, boys.
Yes, sir.
Cheers,
There's going to be more reviews, more video game streaming, and, of course, all of your political nonsense that you want to learn about, all of your current events, come to Two Doom Men podcast, and we'll be sure to share it. As always, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And we're going to stand out here in the snow and have a couple of more drinks. Adios.
Cheers.
Evening. Cheers.